So we're getting our brisket prepped for tomorrow morning. Nothing special about the meat. Got it from H-E-B. It's about 9 pounds before trimming and probably 8 pounds after. Put together an injection base here, and this will also be what it marinates in overnight. I'll throw this in a 2.5 gallon Ziploc bag, and it'll sit in the fridge overnight. It's just basically beef broth, garlic powder. I got some Texas brisket rub from H-E-B. It's got a whole mix of stuff in there, and some cayenne, a little bit of cayenne pepper, some smoked paprika, some tarragon, and some pepper. So nothing too special, but it's got a really good taste to it. And we'll go ahead and get it injected, and then get it soaking in the bag and let it sit there for, let's see, about 12 hours. And then we'll take it out tomorrow morning, get it on the smoker. And I plan on smoking this tomorrow with some post oak pellets and some hickory. It should be pretty good. One thing I'm going to be putting in here that make it a little bit sweet, not much, a little bit. I'll put some applesauce in here. It'll hopefully sit well with the saltiness and that little bit of spice from the cayenne. Set it up real good. There we go. All right. Morning. All right, so this has been soaking about 12 hours, and it is very tender. It's feeling and smelling pretty good. So gonna go ahead and put some rub on it, and then pop it on the smoker. All right, so this is 6 hours, looking really, really good. One thing I did do different this time is after putting the rub on, I usually spray it with apple juice or cider every hour or two, and I'm still spraying it, but after I put the rub on, I very gently put a thick coat of applesauce all over it, kind of see what that does for the bark. So far I'm pretty happy with it. It's making a nice, I mean, it's pretty solid. It candied up real nice on there, and it's got the rub underneath it to capture it all in there. So pretty excited to see how this turns out. All right, so pulled it after about 8 hours, 40 minutes, about 165. Gonna wrap it, put it back on. Looking really good. That bark is looking really nice and thick. So let's get this thing wrapped.
Oh yeah. So beautiful.
All right, almost 14 hours later. I think we're ready to see what we're going to be dealing with here. That's good so far. Yeah. Bark's looking pretty good, a little soft in some spots, but it's really moist. Oh yeah. A lot of juices in the paper. Alright, so I'm gonna separate the point from the flat, and then I plan on making some burnt ends. So it's actually gonna go back on after I let it soak in this mix I made over here. Alright. See what we got here. It's cutting pretty nice. Too bad. Really good smoke ring there. Pretty juicy. Pretty good. The flat, I think, is a little bit overdone. It's still got a lot of juice coming out of it. It's cutting nice. Yeah, the flat's definitely a little overdone, but that's all right. Not too bad. Looking pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and cube this up, let it soak in the pan for a bit, put it back on the smoker for maybe an hour, and let it soak some of that juice up. I just started making the cubing up the burnt ends, but this came out really good. The flat is a little overdone. It was a really thin flat. It wasn't a huge brisket. It was about probably 8 pounds after I trimmed it. The flavor is just out of this world. It's got a little bit of salt, a little bit of spice with the cayenne, and then some sweetness from the applesauce. That worked out perfect. It's got a decent bark on it, really nice. And then what I was really focused on was the point, which is super moist. Came out really, really good. It's got a nice, not overpowering smoke flavor, but it's a decent smoke flavor. I'm really excited to see how these burnt ends are going to turn out, because this came out really good. Get the burnt ends on. This will probably go for another hour or so. Got some corn going, and this is all the trim. My dog likes brisket too, so I keep that unseasoned. I throw it on there, cook it up for him. So yeah, and this mix is basically the rub that I used, and then added some beef broth, a lot of brown sugar, and some Terry Black's barbecue sauce. It has a really good flavor. Should help sweeten that up really nice. And we'll see what it looks like in an hour. Burnt ends, they came out great. We ended up draining a lot of that sauce out of the pan to help speed up the cooking on those, and the sweetness in that sauce balanced out well with the saltiness that was in the rub, and it took the edge off of that spice that was in there from the cayenne. Corn came out really good, and we have garlic bread to go along with it. I don't know if you can see this, but everything is really, really great. And we're all gonna go eat. We're really hungry, so thank you. I was able to drain the pan and end up giving them a nice little char. I'm not doing that. Okay. Take two. All right, so everything's done. Burnt ends came out really good. All right, so everything's done. Corn came out great, and I got some garlic bread, so we're gonna go eat. You're on camera. Pick that up, you know. We're done. I want to go eat.